Hi folks, I've been taking you through a series of videos of the 5 cities in Napa County. Actually 4 cities and 1 town, starting with Calistoga at the north end, moving south to St. Helena, and today I am in Yountville, which is the only one of these that is the town in Napa County. And next I will hit Napa and then American Canyon. And if you know anything about Yountville, you probably know about its world-renowned restaurants and perhaps the Yountville Veterans Home. That's one of 8 Department of Veterans homes for retired veterans. Coincidentally, that's where my wife serves our veterans as a registered dietitian. Today I hope to share a few more tidbits about Yountville that you may not know, so stick around. Hi, I'm Lee W. Miller, a local realtor serving primarily Sonoma Valley and Napa Valley and some of Solano County. And today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite things about Yountville. So I'm glad that you are here to check out this video. One of the things that you may not be familiar about Yountville is that it is a town. It is not a city. And you know, there's some quaintness associated with being a town, but that's not the primary reason. I asked Mayor John Dunbar, Mayor of Yountville, why the insistence on the town, and he understands the quaintness from a marketing standpoint, but it's really much more simple than that. It's that they don't have their own police force, that they contract with Napa County law enforcement to serve the needs of law enforcement in this little town. Now, we're not skipping Rutherford or Oakville, California, per se, or Angwin. The reason that we're not doing a dedicated video to those communities is because they are so small that we're just kind of including those in the Napa County as a whole. But Oakville Grocery is one of the places that you might want to stop and get a bite to eat sometime if you are not ready to sit down to a nice formal meal anywhere else in the Napa Valley. So check that out. Rutherford Grill is also in the community of Rutherford. That's also a nice place that is just a little bit further up north here from Yountville. So we can't talk about Yountville without talking about the French Laundry. And that is all of Thomas Keller's history and the fact that he bought this facility that used to be a laundry, thus the name, but now it's one of the most highly sought after restaurants in the entire world. But that's not the only nice restaurant here in Yountville. We also have an Ad Hoc. That's another Thomas Keller restaurant. You haven't tried fried chicken until you've had Ad Hoc fried chicken. And a fairly new one, La Calende. It's worth mentioning that Thomas Keller won the very first ever Michelin U.S. Mentor Award. He is world famous for culinary perspective. I have yet to have the pleasure of dining at the French Laundry, but I actually won a drawing, so I look forward to enjoying the French Laundry at some point. And I shared in the St. Helena video that the real estate prices in St. Helena are probably the highest, but Yountville would be right there, right behind them, if not comparable to St. Helena. Now the same goes for the hotels. Because it's high end, the hotels here, such as the Bardesano, they're going to be far more expensive than the hotels in Napa. The Bardesano, I believe that was the most expensive per key hotel ever sold until recently. I think another one just broke the record. Something like $1 million per key. And that means the number of rooms in the particular hotel. So that's a very nice hotel here. One of the things that people talk about at the Bardesano Hotel is Lucy's. If you're in Yountville, run over to the Bardesano, have yourself a drink at Lucy's and use the restroom. It's kind of an experience. Next, we have the Vintage House. That's part of the estate Yountville. It's a 22-acre downtown development that includes shopping and dining and lots of experiences. There's a Hotel Villaggio and got a great spa and fitness area in that particular establishment. Wonderful, and provide tremendous service to their guests. You're just going to spend upwards of $500 to $800 a night, and probably a little bit more in certain times of the season. And the Restoration Hardware is a great place to shop, and that was completely redesigned in 2017. Don't go there thinking that it's going to be a Target though, because it's a little different experience. So do some shopping there. So how did Yountville get its name? That would be from George C. Yount. Now, I say Yountville because that's what I learned, but as I've been living here, I've learned that a lot of people say Yountville, because I guess George's name was pronounced Yount. George Yount was the first one to be ceded a land grant from Mexico. This was before the gold rush, and he encouraged ranchers to move to the area and establish an agricultural community. Boy, did he ever know something about agriculture. Back then, there wasn't a whole lot of vines being planted. There was all kinds of stone fruit, primarily prunes. They were not necessarily limiting their planting to vines. In fact, it was far from it. They were doing a lot of other crops here. The Yountville Veterans Home, a lot of these ranchers and the Yountville residents back then, they had their own gardens and they were self-sustained, and that's how they were feeding themselves. Talking about living here in Yountville, real estate, as of today, there's only 20 homes on the market, and 8 of those are in contract as contingent already. They range in prices from only $157,000, because there is a 55 plus mobile home community at the south end of town, and so you can get a mobile home here, and usually a mobile home here is going to be in the $250,000 range, but this one must be quite old. As mobile home parks go, Yountville is going to be the nicest, cleanest one you'll probably ever see, up to a newer mobile home at $525,000. I can let you know that the rental, the space rental, is going to be about $1,000 a month, $900 to $1,000, and then your payment on your mobile home thereafter. And condos here range from about $800,000 to $1.3 million, and then of course single family residences. Pretty unlikely that you'll find any single family residence in Yountville for less than $1 million. And the ones currently on the market are between 1.3 and 1.8. And then of course for the luxury properties, you're going to be looking all the way up into the $10 to $17 million for the luxury properties in the Yountville area. There's only a couple of housing developments. Otherwise, very individual styles and sizes, and the absence of any schools. You know, there's no schools in Yountville. There was an elementary school, and due to lack of children, they closed that. So now the children either go south to Napa or north to St. Helena for their schooling. So there are very little inventory here for home sales. So you're going to need to act quickly or be patient, one or the other. Wait for the right opportunity and then pounce on it and act quickly. There's also a lot of second homes. Homes here that are owned by people who are not full-time residents, and typically they are from Silicon Valley, San Francisco folks, or anywhere internationally, and they really enjoy the lifestyle here. But I'm sitting here in Veterans Park. As I learned from John, this is Washington Street here, where you hear the cars going by occasionally. This used to be the one and only road before the highway was put in. So Washington Street was the only way to get up valley and down valley. Then a few hundred yards to the west, they put in Highway 29, and so the traffic bypasses Yountville. You know, I've talked before about approximately 500 wineries in Napa County. Yountville is home to 37 of those approximately 500. Goose Cross, Cellars, Domaine Chandon, Cliff Lady, Handwritten, has tasting room here. So I've been sharing information about my favorite restaurants in every town thus far. Of course, there's Mustard's, there's Bricks, there's Bottega. So at the time that I'm recording this video, and probably about 68 degrees outside right now, just a reminder of the beautiful weather that we have out here too. So for the locals or anyone else watching, if this is the first video that you've seen of the 5 that I'm doing, drop me a comment, let me know what you think. And if you're a local, even better, let me know maybe some cool trivia information that I didn't share. And if you want to see additional videos, the link right up here, you can see the videos on Calistoga, St. Helena, Napa, and American Canyon as well. So now you know a little bit more about this quaint little community in Napa County that goes by the name of Yountville. I hope that you've been enlightened a little bit about some of the information. And if you are in the area, I would encourage you to swing by and just go up and down Washington Street. The entire town is really, it's only about a mile to a mile and a quarter long, north and south, and about 3 to 5 blocks to the east and 1 block to the west of Washington Street. And if you are interested in learning more about real estate in this community, that's what I'm here for. And I would welcome a conversation with you and will not be that realtor that pesters you. Thanks for joining me. I'm Lee W. Miller. Be sure to subscribe. I appreciate the support that you give me, and you know, you'll be alerted when I put up a new video. And if there's something of interest that you would like me to cover in a video, I encourage you to put that in the comments, and I'll be quick to do some research and try and do a video on that. Beyond that, if you do make a comment once a month, I randomly select 1 comment and prove that there is in fact such a thing as a free lunch. So let me buy you lunch, make a comment, and we'll see you around the Napa Valley.